For years, Mission Improvable has delighted audiences at university events across campus by providing hilarious and completely improv skits for all kinds of audiences. Mission Improvable is self-described as AU's only campus improv comedy troupe who specializes in entertainment, embarrassment, and mystery. With more on this tonight, I have the pleasure of speaking with Mission Improbable director Grant Helms. Grant, thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you with us. I really was contemplating doing some sort of skit. Obviously, our theme for this show is improv. We've got to improv the whole show. Our third segment is a little iffy. We might improv that too. But I just want to have a brief talk with you about improv and how long you've been involved in improv skits.
Yeah, me personally or the troupe?
Both, actually.
Well, I kind of got my start in improv in high school with drama club, and then when I came to university, I thought, well, I want to continue that. I want to stay active kind of in the arts in college. So my freshman year, I always went to the Mission Improbable shows, but I never auditioned. And then sophomore year, I decided, well, let's give it a shot. I really enjoyed the stuff that they did. I thought they were very fresh and always funny stuff, just crazy stuff. So I auditioned and I got on, and I've been on since my sophomore year.
So are you a senior now?
Yeah, I'm a senior.
And how long has the troupe been around before you joined? Has it been years? Or?
Yes, it's kind of an interesting story. I think we've been around for about 12 or 13 seasons now. And when the troupe was originally created, apparently there was a big battle for our name because there were two Mission Improbables, AUs, and there was another one. And I think there's a couple other troops that are Mission Improbable in the country, but there was, in this area, there were two called Mission Improbable, so they had a great battle. They had like an improv off, if you will, to determine the name, and American University's troupe won. They won the battle, so they got to claim the name of Mission Improbable. It sounds a little cheesy, I think, but after you learn that it is very sentimental to us, we appreciate it.
Well, if you've won it in a fierce battle of wits,
yes, exactly,
you get to keep it. Is it part of a larger network of improv groups, or you go to conferences with other improv groups?
You know, improvers are kind of notoriously lazy and idle people. They don't organize well. So no, there isn't. We're very isolated. It's kind of like almost like terrorist cells, I would say, throughout the world.
Spread out around the country.
It really is, and they don't talk to each other. There's no grand master, grand wizard of improv that I know of. But we know other improv troupes around the area. Like, we've been up to Pittsburgh, and we've competed with their troupe, and we know they've competed at Georgetown in the past, and all kinds of different places. So we get together and hang out, but we don't really organize with each other.
I see. Do you have a genre or a style of acting that you guys prefer or do a lot? Obviously, you know, comedy tends to be pretty predominant, but is there a genre? Do you jump genres, or you find you're only doing comedy?
Well, there's kind of two schools of thought with improv. There's the comedic form, and then there's kind of the dramatic theatrical improv. And we don't really concentrate on the theatrical side so much because it's not really good for audiences. It's really for like exercise building and group dynamic. But the comedic form is really what we concentrate on, and we concentrate on short form improv, which is like whose line is it anyway kind of games.
Right.
But there's also long form, which is very different. It's much more complicated, and you have to pay attention. And the audiences at American University have very short attention spans, so they like to be entertained and get out. So we stick to short form improv.
Okay.
Yeah.
What you mentioned you got involved in high school.
Yeah.
What drew you to improv acting?
I like to be looked at on stage.
Really?
And so I just thought this is a place where I can be crazy and it's okay. And it's allowed to say anything you want. And so I wanted to take that opportunity as far as I possibly could. And so, yeah, I just kind of got involved in drama club, and we did a little improv with other schools and stuff, and I thought this is like a really cool thing to be able to go and compete with other schools and stuff. So when I came here, I thought I'd like to do the same thing.
Yeah. Do you see there's a big difference between improv shows and shows that kind of originate on the spot versus shows that are pre-scripted and pre-planned? Which do you prefer, and what's the difference there?
I've kind of been involved in both, and there is a huge difference. There's a very, very different kind of rehearsal process for a straight play or musical. It's choreographed down to the very step, and you have to know exactly what you're doing at every moment, because so many people are involved who also have to know what's going on in order for it to work and kind of convey a message. But with improv, it's much more low-key and low-profile. There's no one else involved except for the troupe, and so we just have to know each other very, very well to be able to work together and make it as funny as possible. So the rehearsal processes are totally separate.
So do you go into performances with a kind of pre-set idea of what sort of performance you're going to do, or do you guys decide the night of, or you said there's a rehearsal process to it. What does the rehearsal process look like?
The rehearsal process basically consists of us practicing the games, because we have to make sure that everyone knows the rules of the games, because there are some specific rules that we have in place to make it as funny as it can be. Everything is of course made up, but we do have to practice the games to make sure all the rules are established and that everyone knows who's doing what, kind of in what role, I guess. That
makes sense. How big is the AU troupe? I must confess that it seems to be a little bit, I don't know, you guys seem very active on campus. I mean, it's hard to get a feel for how many guys are involved in this.
Like the Secret Service, we don't divulge our numbers.
Okay.
No, just kidding. There's like 10 people on the troupe right now, and we have auditions every semester. So as people graduate, people leave the troupe, and then new people eventually come on. We'll actually be having auditions in mid-February, so people should be looking out for that. But yeah, we have auditions every semester, so it stays around between 8 and 12. If you get more than 12, the show becomes super long to get everyone in. That's complicated. Yeah. Too few, then you get sick of people. So
yes, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Now you guys, Jerry Springer's coming to campus, and you guys are actually opening for him.
Yeah.
And that's on is it this Wednesday?
This Wednesday, January 30th.
Now, how did that come about?
An email is how it started. Apparently, the Kennedy Political Union had been working to get Jerry to campus, and Jerry's people needed an opener because apparently he likes to involve student groups, and so they thought of Mission Improbable, and so we were asked to do it, and we obviously jumped at the opportunity because I think Jerry's ridiculous shows match ours very well. Yeah. So I think we're going to be a good fit, and we just need to get the audience kind of pumped up and ready and excited and in a good mood, so that's what we're going to try to do.
Oh, excellent. And that's this Wednesday night. Do you remember the time for that?
Yeah, it's Jerry, I believe it's at 8 p.m. It will start at 8 p.m. on this Wednesday.
Very nice. Yeah. And do you have any other upcoming shows other than that? Yeah,
we're opening for Jerry, but we're also going to have our first own show next week. In 2 weeks. It's going to be Thursday, February 7th at 11 p.m. in, I think, the Battelle Atrium. So
very nice.
Be sure to look out for that one.
And we'll have more information on shows and where they're having them and where they're doing them on our website, yeartodateshow@wordpress.com, and hopefully we can get some people there and you can join in the laughs. Well, I want to thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me.
Best of luck with opening for Jerry Springer.
Thank you.
Look forward to seeing you there.
Thank you.
Next, we will be winging our own last segment because of technical glitches involving poor pre-production planning. So we will be improving our own. Maybe we should form a troupe. We'll see. Join us right after the break.